Hello, everybody. It is Miss Ash Rocks here. You can call me Ashley or Ash. I am Tiltify's community manager, and I'm super excited about this discussion today. We have Slay3K that goes by he, him pronouns, and we are going to talk all about Slay3K's content creation journey, fundraising efforts, and their community. So let's start off with a little introduction about all that.
Well, hey, Ash, thank you so much for having me. I'm really appreciative that Tiltify and you gave me this opportunity to talk about my community and the
Of
content journey.
course. Of
So
course.
thank you very much. But yeah, I'm Slay3K. I've been streaming for just over 3 years on Twitch.
Okay.
We have YouTube and Twitter and all the little platforms attached to that. But yeah, we've been streaming for just over 3 years, about 3 years and a month now.
Wow. And what games do you play?
I'm primarily known for City Skylines as a
Ooh.
detailer doing some city
Ooh.
building. But then the rest is it's kind of mixed up. It depends. We're playing through Valheim right now, which we're almost done with, and there's quite the variety in the past, but we stay a little more focused these days. But we also as a community, we have a lot of community opportunities and community nights and stuff like that that are kind of thrown in there, along with event streams with friends. So we'll play everything from Warzone if we're feeling a little spicy
Ooh.
to a little Sea of Thieves action. So all
Sea of
sprinkled in.
Thieves. Do
Yes.
you and your friends do RP and Sea of Thieves at all? Or you just like to
Um,
have fun with the activity?
Accidentally, we're more of have fun. Every so often we'll have somebody on that wants to do a little RP, so we mess around a little bit.
That's awesome. Thank
Yeah.
you so much.
Mhm.
So we are going to talk a little bit about your amazing fundraiser with Wounded Warrior Project, which was your first fundraiser on Tiltify,
Yes.
correct?
Yes, that is correct.
Wow. And your goal was, correct me if I'm wrong, it was $1,000.
Yep.
1,000. And
Yep.
can you share
Just
with us how
1,000.
much you ended up raising?
We raised
And
21,000 and $4.20 because of course the meme
the
has to be in there
420.
somewhere.
Yes, it has
Yes.
to be. How do you
Yeah.
feel about that?
It was it's still pretty surreal, to be frank. And I know that that's probably like a default response to some regard, but like it's been very very hard for me to comprehend that we did that. Not because I doubt what like a community can do, but
Yeah.
just doubting that like I could be involved with that. I guess I don't know how to explain it. It's in streaming for the period that I have, I started off in a situation where I've always enjoyed war games, and my father and I had a pretty big bond over history of like World War II and stuff like that. So Wounded Warrior made sense, and we just thought that tying it in with like D-Day, the anniversary of D-Day rather,
Mhm.
would be a cool experience. And I had a lot of folks that were kind of excited about it. I actually had a friend of mine who put me in touch with Wounded Warrior, and yeah, we set a goal for $1,000 to do over 2 days, and
Wow.
we yeah, just a 2 days. I think it was like just under 14 hours total of streaming, not even in a row. It was two streams, and we kind of blew it out of the water, to say the least.
Wow. That is incredible work and big, big internet hugs and thumbs up to your community for
Thank you.
doing that. And that's awesome. So I was just going to ask about why you did Wounded Warrior Project. You said it was just you and your dad's history with World War II and everything.
Yeah, we just shared sort of a bond over war history and things,
Okay.
and like specifically World War II. We watched all the movies, Saving Private Ryan, everything you can think of. We've
Mhm.
watched together. But I grew up near a military installation base,
Okay.
and so I've always kind of been around vets and active military personnel. I know a few that as I grew up and stuff like that, or either individuals that had family members that had been in the
Okay.
military or active. So I've always kind of been around it, and this was something where I have like a couple of causes. This was one of them that I considered, and it just so turned out that like I went on Tiltify actually and found that Wounded Warrior popped up as like one of the first ones for veterans,
Yeah.
and I knew of it, and I happened to talk to a friend who got me in touch with someone at Wounded Warrior, who got me in touch with the folks that handle like streaming and kind of like community management. And like after like just a quick couple conversations, it just made perfect sense. It was a really really helpful experience, like working with Brandy and Matt over at Wounded Warrior. So
Awesome.
yeah.
That warms my heart, and I'm sure it will warm the community's heart too. That's really really cool that you and your dad bonded over that, and family
Yep.
members and everything. I wanted to talk a little bit about what really was the giver. Like, I'm going to do this fundraiser for this cause. What really motivated you ultimately?
Um, I would say that what really motivated me, I think it was just a cause that I'm familiar with,
Mm
first and foremost. And I think that especially the younger vets, the younger warriors,
hmm. Mm hmm.
sometimes maybe don't get all the like the attention that they deserve necessarily. Like, and
Okay.
tying it in with D-Day and some of the things I learned along the way with like tying this whole event together, I guess, just appealed to me because when I started figuring out like how to quantify what you could do to support them
Mm hmm.
with like PTSD and things like that.
Yeah.
It just resonated with me. And I know like typically, when you find that cause that resonates, it just sticks. And this one just like kind of like sat with me really, really well, really quickly. Um, I found out through our efforts of like raising, the $21,000, we were able like that quantifies into like 150 mental health therapy sessions for for vets. That's also like 1,000, over 1,000, like over 1,100, I think, calls with wounded warrior staff members
Wow.
that can like talk to family members and stuff like that and give encouragement and just those little things I think can go definitely a long way. But I found that like working with their team, a lot of transparency and a lot of help and assistance with doing the event. So it just all sat really well and like was very, very comfortable because doing the first charity stream, like I've been kind of like thinking about it,
Yeah.
like do I do it? When do I do it? How do I set it up? And I had some friends recently that did some charity stuff. In fact, like my friend Boomdaba, who does a lot of work for St. Jude, along with my another friend KL, they both kind of like talked to me a little bit about Tiltify and how to operate it and just having that sort of security there tied to Wounded Warrior, it made it just like everything was a lot of the stress was lifted off my shoulders, I guess is the point.
Oh, that's awesome. And I'm so glad that you use a Tiltify platform because that especially makes it very easy to just create your
Yes.
campaign and get it done.
Yes. And
And oh,
I
go
have to
around
say,
ahead.
like, I have a really good support group. So when I brought it up, I had a bunch of guys that I played the game with, uh,
Mhm.
Jedi and Lerp and Super Q Boyd, Pyro. They were all like super on board with it, and then my mods were super on board with it. So like total community effort in so many different ways.
Wow.
Um, so yeah, very very happy to have done it, and of course still blown away at the result.
I think we are all blown away. That is absolutely incredible for your first campaign on your channel.
Yes.
I what was going through your mind during your stream? Like,
Um
is this really happening? You
yes,
know?
that right there. That's pretty. I would say that like the first day, I mean, I set up $1,000 because I was like, this might be a biannual event. Like maybe we could do it in like this fall or something closer to winter, maybe
Mhm.
tied in with like another, Remembrance Day of some sort. And I I think the first night, I can't remember how quickly we surpassed the goal, but it was fast. And like I only had like one pledge, and the rest of it was just like we'll see where we land. And I think I had like stretch goals up to like two
Mhm.
thousand dollars just in case it got but that was for 2 days. So in the first day we
Wow.
hit $3,000. So I was actually making stretch goals live on stream. I was like, "What do you guys want?" Because I don't know what to do. So like I had my own sticker that I got made that I would send, that I'm sending to folks that won them through giveaways, and then obviously Wounded Warrior had provided like some incentives and stuff like that. So I remember we got to the second day and I'm like, I have no idea where we're going to land. So I doubled the goal for stretch goals, basically $6,000, I think is what I set up. And I'm like, I
Mhm.
said on stream, if we pass that, I have nothing to offer. Like I have no idea what to do. And we passed that so quickly. We had one individual who I'll name Pumpkinhead, who did a ton of contributions and really like boosted us up. And it became at some point a little bit of a friendly competition with the leaderboard of
Oh.
on Tiltify. So
Oh.
they wanted us to be first, and they made sure it happened. But I think the second day, if you were to go watch the VOD, it's just
Mhm.
a lot of me just sitting there like I think I had to edit it out of like the little highlight I made. I said, "What are we doing?" just repeatedly because I just didn't understand. I mean, it went on for hours, and I think like the last hour of stream, I was done at like 9 p.m. or something like that. I was going to kind of wrap it up, and we went for another hour just because it kept dinging. Like
Just kept
Tiltify kept
going,
coming through. Yeah, it just didn't
kept
stop, and
going.
I mean, we went from like 15 to like 21,000 in the span of like a couple hours, just trying to wrap up and slowly close it out. But it was really impressive. They were, as a community, very very motivated though the last couple hours of the day to be like, oh wait, we're really close to first. Well, now we need that. So it turned into an experience to see them, push that.
Wow. That is absolutely incredible of your community, and
Yeah,
they were fighting for you to get the top. That is
they
so
they
funny.
were. We had hashtags. Like I think World of Warships was in second or third place or whatever. So
Yeah.
it was sink the ship for a little bit. And again, no harm done. It was a friendly competition, but it was hashtag sink the ship, and then it turned into hashtag slay, and then they would change the Slay3K to whatever number we were at. So now when
Oh
I go into
my
chat, I get
goodness.
Slay21K is my new. They
You
said we
need to
should change the
rebrand.
name.
Time to
Apparently.
rebrand.
Just
That
got
is
this
so
one
funny.
comfortable, but yeah, it was a lot of fun, and it was, cheers to everybody that was able to come out and to do that, because that was definitely a community effort. It was awesome.
Yeah. That's amazing. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. We
Of
really
course.
appreciate it.
Yeah, glad to.
It was your first campaign and we have
Mhm.
a lot of features for you to use. Was there
Yep.
any that you liked for your first campaign or did you use any features that we have?
I did. I mean, the overlay system, like having
Yes.
that be like embedded into stream, and just the ease of that. Like,
Mhm.
kudos, because that makes it so much more efficient for me. Like, I think the biggest thing, like if someone was to watch this and say, what can I take away from this to do, is like
Mhm.
find Tiltify and see, look for a charity tied to it, because it just makes it easier. I'm not you don't have a lot of like there's so much relieved. You're not dealing with, money or anything like that. It's all done within the site. And
Right?
that took such a load off. But feature
Mhm.
wise, like just the overlay feature and how easy that was. Additionally, being able to set up rewards and having people go ahead and put in their information so that we could have
So
like a mailing
easy.
list. Yes.
Simple.
Yes.
Mhm.
Because I'm able to take that as an Excel sheet and then start, running through the list of who should
Mhm.
receive items and what they should receive. That plus milestones were probably the two features I use the most.
Awesome. And
Yes.
I bet you use milestones a lot because you had to keep creating them.
Yes, until I just gave up. I was like, "There's no point anymore."
There's nothing else I can come up with.
Yes, I was out of ideas at that point.
So, do you think you will have another campaign on our platform?
Yes, yes. I would say look out for us next year, early
Okay.
June. I think we're looking at doing something very, very similar.
That
So
is
that's the plan.
awesome.
Yes,
All right. And we do have polls and rewards. Do you think you'll
yes,
utilize that for next year? Kick it
100%.
up a notch?
Yes, I would.
Awesome.
It just makes it easier to have it all embedded in a place where it's all
Yeah.
happening. So I can
Mhm.
just not, I don't want to say throw it on, but I can just implement all those items, like
Yeah.
relatively easily into my platform, without a ton of hassle. So that's
Perfect.
that's the plan, is to continue to utilize it.
Awesome. I can't wait to see what your community can do next year. This is absolutely
Yeah.
insanity.
I
I
don't know what to
just I
expect.
keep looking. $1,000 goal. Boom, 21. And then you made your goal 6,000. And they said no. No,
I
we're
was I
doing
was
that.
upping it the second day by thousands, like $1,000 every time, and then we passed
Yeah,
six
yeah.
thousand. I'm like, yeah, that's okay. I'm
All
done
right then.
updating this.
Right.
You guys just figure out where you want to be, everybody. I'm just along for the ride. I mean, it was cool. I think over the last year or so on Twitch, I've realized like how much community can do, and
Yeah.
people were saying you doubted, and it's like I didn't doubt. I just had no expect. It's first charity stream, guys. Give me a break, and it
Yeah,
turned into
yeah.
just a ride that I will not forget.
Wow. And I know your first campaign can sometimes give you anxiety and you're like, I don't know what to
Oh yeah.
expect. And you killed it. I'm
And
so proud of you. The
keeping in mind,
entire
it
community is
was
so proud.
it was like not even a month of planning. I just kind of was just like,
You just
let's
said,
have a first
okay,
charity stream.
yeah, I talked to Wounded Warrior. All right, let's go do this campaign now.
Yeah, it was amazing, but
Yeah.
really cool.
And I know you said you did speak with the Wounded Warrior team and influencer team. What did they offer you or what tips did they give you?
Uh, so much. I mean, reaching out to them, I would recommend, like, if you're able to touch base with like a charity of your choice and
Mhm.
get in touch with a community manager or something like that, some sort of support system, like it's huge. And I didn't have any high expectations. You know, I know they have a bunch of charities, they have their own campaigns running. But I've been blown away even to this day. Like even after the event, like they're still in touch, and it's not something
Aw.
where it's an email and wait. It's like we're in DMs, like we talk,
Yeah.
you know, and
It's so important to have relationship building,
yeah.
especially with creators that are fundraising for your
And
cause.
I was messaging them like during the event and we were updating them on progress. And it was funny because I had a conversation with them actually earlier today. And they were saying, you know, and this is again a month out from basically a month since we actually did the event. And they were
Mhm.
saying like we left to go do something. We came back and you had another $5,000. You know, so they were actively in chat. They were engaged, and they were like we were
Aw.
sending them updates to let them know. And they were like, I sent a message. I remember Saturday night. It's like, guys, I need help. Like, we need more support. And then the
Mhm.
next morning, I had responses of like, okay, let's give you some more incentive items. This is crazy, you know. And they were messaging me while we were streaming, like, do you need more? Like, what do you need? Just to keep it going. So they're actually going to be coming by to it. They offered to come in for a stream, so we're gonna have a stream maybe next month or early August where they're gonna come in and actually chat about Wounded Warrior and
Wow.
give some education. We're gonna play a game together and hang out maybe. So they have
Aw.
been super awesome. So I think that was like that made it the experience so much better. Like,
Yeah, and that's all about community building. That is amazing
yeah,
that they're keeping in touch with you and they really just love your community and all the community efforts you all did for their
yeah.
cause. That is
But I do have to give a
beautiful.
shout out. I do have to give a shout out because the not only did the Wounded Warrior like official page come in and chat with, you know, everybody and hang out, Tiltify also showed up, and that's actually when I got upset because it was a little too real at that point.
Oh,
Um, yeah, upset in a good
oh
way. Upset in a
no.
good way
Yeah,
to be clear.
yeah.
But
Oh.
yeah. So shout out to whoever was on the Tiltify Twitch page because everyone was trying to make me break, and that's what got me. That was
That's what
the
got you?
yeah, that's what got me.
Did you cry?
I don't want to talk about it. I'm kidding.
Let's
Yes, I
talk
did.
about it.
I did.
No,
I
let's.
choked up. I cried.
Oh,
I cried.
now
Um,
I'm going to cry.
don't cry.
I'm emotional. You're going to learn this very quickly.
It was just you know, you obviously do the charity for to raise money for a good cause or whatever
Yeah.
you're looking to do, right? And I
Mhm.
think for that streamer it's often like, you know, just the exposure and being able to say, hey, I did this. And that was part of it for me, is like I've been wanting to do a charity stream, trying to figure out when that was going to happen and how to
Mhm.
orchestrate it in a way that I felt good about it. And this exceeded all those expectations. And the fact that like you
Yes.
can, if you can get that exposure to just the world that you did, you know, you did something, and I don't need anybody to, you know, you don't need the pat on the back, but it means so much to hear people excited about it and proud of what you did. And I think it was like Tiltify came in like that last hour that we were streaming, and we had tagged them on Twitter and everybody was retweeting and it was nuts. And just them like that account coming in was like, oh wait, they noticed, but this is real. This is really happening.
Mhm.
$21,000 in 2 days. Like
Yeah.
it was just
Everyone at Tiltify saw it. They were like, "This is a good guy. This community is
thank you.
awesome. We gotta chat with them."
I
I'm so
appreciate
happy
that.
we have you today. Thank you so
Yes,
much for
thank you.
sharing your content creation journey and sharing your amazing experience with the Wounded Warrior Project. And I'm so happy they are supporting you and just uplifting you and your community. That is absolutely incredible. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you for
And
having me.
of course, now, Slay, where can we find you on socials so we can
Uh,
keep up with you?
Twitch.tv/Slay3K. You also have YouTube with that little C in the middle. So it's YouTube/C/Slay3K. And then pretty much at Slay3K everywhere else, including
Perfect.
Twitter.
Branding, love that. And you have the Slay3K shirt. Look at
You
that.
know, I'm
Is
trying.
that your
It's a little
logo?
wrinkled right there. That's the shortened logo. That's the shortened one.
Shortened. Nice.
Yeah.
I love it. Looks
The
great.
icon.
And again, everyone, I am Ashley, or you can find me at Miss Ash Rocks on socials. I am Tiltify's community manager. And thank you so much for watching and engaging in our discussion with Slay3K. Thank you again for being here. We are honored to have
Thank you.
you and highlight your community, your fundraising efforts. And we can't wait to see your next campaign on Tiltify. All
I
right,
appreciate it.
y'all.
Thank you so much.
Of course. We are out, chat, and make sure you do follow 3K, okay? We have links in the description. And yeah, go keep up with him and all the fun things his community is doing. Thank you. Thank you. See you next time. Bye.